So, I was watching True Vanguard's video on the Season 4.5 patch notes, and I scrolled through the comments to see a lot of people are unhappy with the Ultron nerfs, myself included, of course. Some people were even suggesting a rework, which I feel is a little far-fetched, but I thought it might be interesting to sit down, have some fun, and talk about the possibility of a rework and what direction to take Ultron going forward. If I think a rework is unlikely, then why am I bringing it up? I personally don't like the direction they're going with Ultron changes. They've nerfed his drone healing and or his overshield generation multiple times now. Ultron was barely a healer in the first place, at least compared to the other healers in the game. With the nerfs, it feels like they're trying to make Ultron exclusively viable in triple heal. After playing some games on Ultron in comp this season, I can say he is definitely still good, and I don't think he really needs to be reworked. But I would really like to see some kind of buff to either his healing or his overshield generation to make his sustain capability a little better, and at least put him on the same level of sustain as Mantis or Adam Warlock. I like how Ultron plays in his current state. I definitely don't want to see him get reworked, but for a strategist his healing feels so lackluster, but I'm sure NetEase doesn't want to buff him too much out of fear of him becoming overpowered. I suspect Ultron is performing really well in the highest ranks, especially where triple heal comps become more common, and this is probably why he keeps getting nerfed. I get that this is a problem for the devs, but my question is, should we be balancing heroes based on the performance in the top 1%? I don't have the answer to that question. Maybe someone more qualified than me should speculate on that. For now, I think nerfing Ultron's heals is not the right solution. The majority of the player base's perception is that Ultron's heals are really bad. His heals can definitely work if you have good uptime on the drone and your team is playing grouped together, but compare Ultron to any of the main healers and you can see that the sustain capability is on a whole different level. You could even argue the utility of the main healers is better than Ultron. Look at Terror Cape, Invis Pole, or Snowflake and compare those abilities to Ultron's Overshield or Drone. Which one would you rather have? Anyways, what could be done to rework him? The worst option, in my opinion, is to switch Ultron from a strategist to a duelist. First off, switching a hero's role is unprecedented for this game, but also the game is so saturated with duelists right now, and we need all the strategists we can get. Not to mention, I think Ultron's character makes sense as a strategist. If they did make Ultron a duelist, I would be interested to see what they come up with, and I would definitely still play him, but out of all the routes they could take for a rework, this would be the most disappointing to me. I suggested a minor ult rework in my guide video, and one of those suggestions was adding a static healing drone that Ultron leaves behind when he activates his ult, which I think would be within the realm of reasonable for a rework. Adding another healing circle ultimate isn't the most creative option, I get that, but if Ultron is going to be viable in a duo heal comp, he should have a support ult that holds up to the competition. They already did this same rework with Jeff ult in Season 4.0, and really it isn't as much of a quote-unquote rework as it is adding a passive ability to his ult. If they do end up changing his ult, hopefully they do something more creative than this, but I will take anything I can get at this point. As far as an actual full kit rework goes, they could go in a lot of different directions. One of the suggestions under True Vanguard's video was giving him multiple drones and have Ultron's damage dealt transfer over as healing to teammates with drones on them. I like this idea. In theory, it would reward good uptime and aggressive play. One idea I had is giving him two primary fires to switch between, one a damage beam and the other a healing beam. He could switch between them at will, just like Punisher switches between his guns. In a certain sense, the Nano Ray team-up already does this, but that ability has quite a long cooldown, so making it a separate weapon slot would be more flexible. If they made Nano Ray a base ability for Ultron, I think that would be a totally acceptable change as well, and would effectively accomplish the same thing. You could potentially give Ultron the Namor treatment, where he throws out temporary drones that automatically shoot healing beams at teammates. You could even have Ultron's primary fire speed up the cooldown of the drones, so you could throw out more drones more consistently by doing more damage. My favorite idea is giving Ultron a bunch of drones that each have different abilities. One drone could heal, another drone could generate armor packs, there could be a damage boost drone, maybe a drone that gives CC immunity. Get crazy with it. Even add another layer of complexity by having the option to switch the drones from follow mode to stationary mode. Maybe a stationary drone has a more powerful effect, but can be destroyed by enemies as a trade-off. As long as it's intuitive to use, it's fine with me. So far, NetEase has been really good about making heroes intuitive to use, so I trust them on that. At a certain point, adding too many abilities would be really demanding for a casual player, so I understand this objectively isn't a great option for a rework, but it could be interesting to see Ultron's gameplay loop become a mini strategy game where you're micromanaging your army of drones. Those were the 3 fun ideas I came up with, and I really like the idea from that commenter under True Vanguard's video as well. If you have any ideas that you think would fit with Ultron's kit, leave a comment down below. Let's theory craft some reworks together. Anyways, that's all I have for this short video. Thanks for listening to my rant. Please buff Ultron.
I got like all the
Final 10 seconds.
They don't have portal, yeah. Look at things. Strings is in our spawn. Okay,
Good job.
4, 3, 2, 1.
tomorrow.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I'm Mark Spector. I'm Stephen Gray. I'm Jake Lockley. And we are Moon Knight. Can't you is my shield?
Look at Bucky.
In the zone.
He's gonna run.
I'm probably gonna go.
This is real firepower! I am strengthened for battle. Unreachable power. It is time. Enemy in front of us. Extermination! By the eye of Agamotto!
Need up, bump on, need up.
We can win. They're gonna portal. You have to get 3 on now.
Illogical, but efficient.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Termination. This is my unnatural selection. This vehicle will continue its journey.
I'm low-key losing my voice, bro. Come on, bro.
Alright, that feels better.
I don't jump, no more. Bro.
A nice deep freeze.
Jeff dead. He's gonna run. No, he doesn't. I'm gonna ult it. I'm gonna ult rocket. Yeah, I'm playing it.
Yo, that motherfucker.
Good stuff, guys. Jeez.